Hello there peeps, this is Dwadakid at the SP Gamer once again, and it's time to discuss my final thoughts on Cave Story. This video is more of a large talky video, no gameplay included, so if you're not into that sort of thing, you have been warned. So first things first, the gameplay. It's Metroidvania, which is one of my favorite game styles, which is an automatic plus in my book. I like how no matter what weapon you choose, it's useful in one way or another. The machine gun is powerful early on and gives you a permanent extended jetpack at level 3. The snake's ability to go through walls is really useful in a Metroidvania setting. And then there's the spur's raw power and the fact that it doesn't need to rely on experience like all of the other weapons. I still don't understand why Pagoda considers the bubbler to be the best weapon, but that just goes to show how the weapon selection facilitates many different playstyles. That is a plus in my book. The experience meter is also a smart measure to prevent you from going hog wild with your weapons unless you're skilled enough to not take needless amounts of damage along the way, with the exception of the spur, but in that case, you ought to be skilled enough if you are able to find and acquire that weapon. The next thing I want to talk about is the story. It should have been obvious based on my reactions, but I really hated the bad ending route where Curly and Booster ended up dying among the rest of the tragedy that was occurring. It seemed like a slap in the face from the game that meant, to her, everyone's dead because Doctor is evil, you cry now. With no break until I reached the plantation where things started to go in Quote's favor. While I didn't think the story was bad for even a moment, I hated the results. And yet, the more I think about it, the more I believe it's genius design. Because once I found out about the far more positive true ending that 1. Let me acquire more powerful items, and 2. Extended the gameplay with a brand new area and quite a few bosses, I was ready to jump at the opportunity instantly. It takes a lot for a game to make me react the way I did to the characters' deaths. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm glad I put this game off for so long so that I could experience these feelings firsthand. Another thing I liked about Cave's story is the art style versus feeling dissonance it provides. I know there'll be people who disagree with me, but I'm a sucker for games that have cute art styles coupled with rather dark plots once you get deep into said games. There's quite a few reasons why I like Kirby so much, and that's one of them. And then we get to the boss battles, which are my favorite parts of any game usually. And this game has really fun bosses. Each boss felt challenging in their own right, almost Kirby-ish in a few ways, given their patterns. I'd have to say my favorite boss would be Undead Core when Sit-U and Misery are left alive. The way that battle is supposed to work, you're basically fighting 3 different final bosses at the same time. 3 final bosses. Bolos was also a very fun boss fight after the hell that was the Sacred Grounds. I still can't believe that of all things, he was finished off by the Whimsical Star. The things that happen in blind runs. If there's one thing I did have to complain about, and at this point it's just a nitpick, the puppy hunt, while fun at first, starts to get rather tedious on subsequent playthroughs. I don't know if it could have been done better or not, but like I said, that's just a nitpick at this point. I can see myself coming back to this game later on for a minimalist run, but I'll need a lot of practice before I can do that. It's on the list of possibilities, though. So, thank you very much for watching, I hope you've enjoyed the series, and there's one more video for this game I want to show before we close it out. And with that, bye ya!